What is going on, YouTube? It's Sawyer here, and today I have a very big bone to pick with a certain somebody, a great man of great influence, and that man is Spike Lee. He recently directed a movie that is very controversial in certain parts of the world, mainly Chicago, because it's a film pertaining to Chicago, and it's a movie about, or supposed to be about, Chicago. That movie is Chi-Raq. Now, a lot of people have problems, me myself included, have problems with this film because if you're doing this, I honestly thought this movie was going to be a documentary about the violence and the human side of Chicago, but it's more of a satire film, and it's more comedy driven in certain parts of it. The movie itself, it barely pales to compare with what's really going on in Chicago. Like, we don't see the more insidious cost of the violence, the broken families, the loss of hope, and like the attitude amongst the youth that's being born into Chicago. Not Chi-Raq means they're destined to die young, which is a lot in Chicago, because like I don't know the statistics about the young black men being born and their age limit, they're gonna succeed or not succeed to see in Chicago. Luckily, I passed 21. I was alive at 21. I'm so happy. But the movie, it fails to emulate the lives of the many Chicagoans who go to bed at night with the sound of gunfires outside their windows, and then they have to wake up with news that, it was another murder last night, or this little girl was shot, or somebody got hit with a stray bullet, or kids in general was picked off in the streets. Because nowadays in Chicago, there are more youth dying than there are any other generation. Like, the youth generation in Chicago is diminishing by the numbers, and like it's horrible. Like, I don't understand how he didn't take this movie serious, how he didn't use that element of that violence element to surprise us. He just made it into a shit film. He made it into a snuff film. He made it into a movie to please the politics, to please that other side. The black community thought this movie was gonna help elevate to stop the violence caused in Chicago, but boy, were they wrong. They were so wrong on so many levels that this film didn't even live up to everybody's expectations. And I've seen so many people praise the film and give this film thanks of shedding a light on what's happening. Like, I don't understand how this film is doing that, because everything the film is saying we already kind of knew. Show us another side that we like. I still, there's a lot more that Chicago is not being shown. And the premise overall of the film is that the women will stand up and withhold sex from the gang banging boyfriends of theirs, and that will have a element of peace to stop the violence. Now, if any person in their right mind knows that when you're dealing with members of gangs and things like that, you're gonna hold sex from them, you can do that. But I'm pretty sure there are multiple other women they are seeing that are gonna give them exactly what they want that you're not giving them. So the premise of the movie is in itself is just like garbage, and I don't see how people are praising that. I'm sorry, I'm rambling and ranting, but this is like, I expected more from Spike Lee. I expected him to deliver a great telling of what it's like to actually be in the city of Chicago, the dark side of the city, if you will, because the violence here is ridiculous. It's by far the worst I've seen. And for him to cop out like that, it doesn't help your case. It makes it more, swept under the rug type of thing. So I'm very passionate about my city, because when things like this occur, it's best to have an outlet to go to like vent. And I thought the movie was gonna give me that, but it didn't. It failed, and like it makes me utterly disappointed in filmmakers sometimes tackling situations like this, because you put so much faith in them to actually tell the story right, and when they fail to deliver exactly what you wanted, or something somewhat pleasable, you lose hope in them. So Spike, if you're listening, I know you're not listening to this, but dude, you fucked up. You fucked up. But if you guys enjoyed this rant, please leave a comment or a sub. It's horrible. Don't go see it. Don't spend your money. Don't do it.